Hey you guys, for this particular video I'm going to demonstrate how to create rollovers in InDesign for Interactivity. We'll be using the buttons and forms option panel for that. But to begin with, I'm starting out in Photoshop. Now in Photoshop, I just created a square, and it's a fairly large square. It's not going to be your typical button size, but it's just for being used for demonstration purposes. So I've got the square here. What I have here is the normal state, the over state when the mouse rolls over the button, and then the down state when you click, or the click state as it's referred to in InDesign. So essentially this is what it would look like. The square would be, in this case, green, and then when the user rolls over it, it would change over to blue. And then when the user clicks on it, it's going to switch over to this magenta pink color. Okay, so all I'm doing in this case is I'm going to save these three buttons as JPEG files. And for something like this, they can be saved as ping files because they're solid colors. So I'm going to go over to InDesign. So let me go ahead and switch out of here from Photoshop to InDesign. Now in InDesign, I'm going to begin by going up to the File menu and then choosing Place. So I'm going to create this button by starting with my initial state, which is going to be the normal state. So I'm going to go into my rollovers option here, and I have the normal JPEG button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, or double click on it, and then I'm going to come into InDesign and I'm just going to click to drop it into place. So it comes in as an object. I'm going to move over to the Buttons and Forms panel. While the object is selected in the Buttons and Forms panel, we're going to come down to the lower right-hand side here, and we're going to click on the Convert To button. All right, so we're going to convert this to a button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. This now becomes a button. You'll see a dashed line around the outside. You'll see the little button icon on the lower right-hand side as well. And if we take a look back at the Buttons and Forms panel, we'll see that now under Appearance, we have a normal, rollover, and click state. Currently, we only have the normal state. All right, so I'm going to click on the rollover state. When I do so, it uses the same state, the normal color, for the rollover. Now what I need to do is get the rollover color or button to come in on top of this. In order to do that, once again, I want to point out that we have a dashed line around the object. If we double click on the object, it now makes a solid line around the outside of it. While there is a solid line, we can go back up to the File menu, back down to Place, or use the shortcut of Command D. In here, I will grab the Over state, so here's the Over button here. Double click on that, and now it comes in as the blue state. So now we'll see the two of them. Under Appearance, I'll click on Normal. That's what it would look in a normal state. And then when the user puts their cursor over it, this is what it looks like. Okay, so we have one more now. So I'm going to go down to the click state, or I refer to it as the down in Photoshop. So I have this highlighted now. I'm going to go back to the object. Once again, you will notice that it has a dashed line. Again, you have to double click on it. If you do not double click on it, what's going to happen is when you import another photograph, when you place another object in, it's going to place as a separate object, not as a part of this rollover. Okay, so once again, double click on the object to get a solid line. Once we have that solid line in place, File, Place, I will choose the down state or the click, and now we'll see that we have three different colors here under Appearance: the normal state, the rollover, and the click state, the down state. Now to test this out, we don't even have to leave InDesign. On the lower left-hand side, you have this little icon here for a preview. So I'm going to click on this icon, open up to the Epub preview dialog box, give it a moment to refresh. So down on the bottom here, we have the Epub preview button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that to open up the Epub Interactivity preview. And here's what our button looks like. So I could just roll the cursor over it, and we get a preview of the rollover. And when the user clicks, now it changes to the third color. Okay, so this is what it will look like in the PDF document. Rollover, click. So there you go, piece of cake. Hope you enjoy this and hope that you come up with some creative uses for this. And I'll see you in the next video.